Can you game with the AMD RX 550 graphics card? By that I mean playing games at the 1080p resolution preferably. Well, today in this video I'll be showing you how well exactly games run with the RX 550. At the top left I will display the frame rate we're getting and will also show you the settings I personally would go for the best possible gaming experience. So let's go! First off, let's start with Battlefield 1. In the settings I set the resolution to 1080p, the X12 disabled, and the graphics quality to low. This translates to about 50 to 60 FPS depending on how much action's going on. For the next game, Crysis 3, I'm going straight for 1080p too. FXAA, everything else low even under advanced graphics, 16x AF though, and yeah, this leads to a very smooth gameplay with roughly 60 FPS, sometimes more, sometimes less. Now as for Doom, let's stick to 1080p as well, FXAA, motion blur high, OpenGL 4.5 and the quality set to low. However, with a frame rate of about 30 FPS or less, this is not very playable, at least not for me. So in order to fix this, I don't change any settings with the exception of the API. I set that one to Vulkan instead of OpenGL. This makes up for a playable frame rate now with around 50 FPS, sometimes dipping down into the 40s. Let's give Cry Primal a try. 1080p once again, graphics set to low. Unfortunately, not a very pleasant experience, just 40 FPS or so. The only real way to increase this number is to lower the resolution to something like 1600 by 900. This does wonders and boosts the FPS all the way up to 50 and sometimes even 60. In GTA 5 I set the resolution to 1080p again, DirectX 11, FXAA, VSync off of course, the population density, variety and distance scaling to 100% and everything else at normal. Reflection MSAA is set to X8 and AF to X16. We're getting a very good frame rate of 70 to 90 frames per second. This means there's some headroom and we can up the settings a bit if we want to. To not exceed the 2GB VRAM limit, FXAA on, these bars at 100% except for population variety, which eats up video memory, so it's at like 25% or so, texture quality very high, shader to high, reflection to very high, reflection MSAA still at X8 and everything else at normal settings. That way the game looks much more beautiful with improved graphics and I consider 60 FPS very playable, don't you think? Next up, Rise of the Tomb Raider. 1080p, the X12, AA is off and the graphics preset is lowest. 40 to 50 FPS, which is not bad, but one could need a bit more. So all I do now is lower the resolution down to 1600 by 900, just like in Cry Primal. And as you can see, we're now getting 60 to 70 FPS, a very nice improvement. As for the final game, The Witcher 3, as always 1080p, graphics preset low, post-processing low as well. The result? 40 FPS more or less. Could be a bit challenging in more action-packed scenes. To fix this, I lowered the resolution to 1600 by 900 once again. Admittedly, this doesn't do much, but at least we're scraping on the 50 FPS mark. And yeah, that's about it. So to answer the question on whether or not you can game with an RX 550, while it's not the best experience out there, you definitely can for now, if you're willing to lower the in-game resolution for some games. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. And as always, thanks for watching.